Morning, or wherever you are, whatever time it is, hello. I thought I'd do like a Sydney Sessions. I thought I'd do like each Sunday, I'm going to do a little topic that I talk about and put it on my YouTube. And I'll do a smaller video that goes on my Instagram for people who don't want to see my YouTube, and then a YouTube for everyone else. And it's going to be maybe 15, 20 minutes, depends on how much I get talking, which can be quite a lot sometimes. God, my hair. I only washed it last night. The Bali water's really harsh, and apparently like you should get a filter if you live here long term, because it's just really not good for your hair. Anyway, so today what I was going to talk about to start off the series was solo traveling, because I've done loads of things solo, as in I go for dinner by myself, I go to cafes by myself, I go out by myself, I do lots of things by myself. But I've really noticed since being solo traveling, as in on holiday completely alone, that I do thrive off having conversations with people and being around other people, and I really feed off other people's energies, whether that's good or bad. And I found that the days, so this is my first trip, so anyone who doesn't know me, this is my first trip where I've gone away for an extended period of time by myself the whole time. So I've had 2 weeks in Bali, I've done a week in a retreat, and then I've done a week just going to some different hotels, going to different areas. And in the day, I love it. I love relaxing, I love reading, I love going to the gym, I love like going around the pool. Like all of those things are really easy to do alone because I'm just always busy in the day, going to cafes and whatnot. It's on a nighttime where I find I struggle the most. So I feel like going out to a restaurant is fine, but sometimes going out to a restaurant where there's lots of other people or lots of other couples or people who are together, you get like, you're not jealous, but you feel a little bit envious, especially as a single person. And being 32 and also all of everyone you know pretty much being in relationships bar one or two, if that, it's really tough, like watching people in couples, like, and seeing people happy. And you only see it from the outside, like, do you know what I mean? It's not necessarily that they're happy or that relationship's going to last or anything like that. They might be having the shittest day ever, but it is tough from someone who is single to watch that every night when you're away alone the whole time. And I don't think about it 24/7, but as I say, I really don't struggle in the day. It's just more on an evening where I'm out and about and I see that a lot, and it's like, oh, and it makes you just feel a little bit sad for yourself. But then you soon get over it, which is nice. But one thing about going away by yourself is you can do whatever you want. You can, like today, I was meant to go to the beach and watch the sunrise, and I woke up at 4 a.m. and it was raining so bad, and I texted the Gojek driver and I said, look, I don't want to go to the beach today. It's absolutely peeing it down. I don't want to do that. And I lay in bed and bloody scrolled on TikTok. I went to sleep and then woke back up again, scrolled on TikTok, which is totally bad for me, which I know is totally bad for me, but I just needed to do that today. And I just like that I can plan whatever I want. I can do whatever I want. I can do something last minute and I don't have to wait for someone to get ready or wait for them to decide whether it works for them. I can choose what food I want. I can choose where I want to go. I can choose to read a book all day and not move from one spot. So that's really lovely, and I really enjoy that part. But yeah, I have noticed that I do like to be around people. I do find it difficult just being in my own company all the time, because I do find that I overthink lots of situations that I probably wouldn't even cross my mind if I was busy. But because I've always got like 7 million things going on in my brain, I find that when I'm by myself for too long, I do overthink stuff. A couple of things for keeping safe. I'm in Bali at the minute, so I do feel really safe wherever I go. I have got cash, not a huge amount of cash, but I've got cash if I ever am in a predicament where my phone dies or anything like that. I always, when I am booking my travel, I always book it through an app. So Gojek is the app that I use. And if I was away somewhere else, like when I went to Brisbane, I used Uber. Like I use apps so that it's more secure, so that you can track anything if anything happens, or I don't know, I just feel like it's more secure. So I do that out in Bali. I'll book all of my Gojeks and mopeds and taxis through an app because I feel more secure in that way. Also, I have a couple of different cards that I can use. I've also got money that I have like stashed away in an account in case anything happens and I need to get out of somewhere quickly. I always have like a little reserve pot, I guess, in life in general, not just for traveling. I just think that having a little pot safely tucked away where you go, right, I need at least £2,000 because if something happens and I need to leave, I need to catch a flight and it's last minute, I can afford it, then that's good. So I would say have something like that just to keep yourself feeling more safe and secure. So I wrote in my journal this morning a little list down of some pros and cons of solo traveling, and I put spending time to reflect as a pro. So like it's nice to just sit with your own thoughts sometimes, but then I've put the con as overthinking lots of situations. Because you've got so much time on your hands, you do overthink stuff, but maybe it's a good thing. Maybe it's a good thing to spend time by yourself, to overthink things and to work out why you do that and why you do certain things, and work out what makes you feel good. Like, how do you feel when you've been overthinking? What have you done in that scenario that's made you feel better? So for me, like, I woke up this morning and I was just kind of in a bit of I was so happy and in such a good headspace yesterday, and then I woke up and I just wasn't today. And I just thought, right, I need to listen to my body and listen to what I need. And I did go on my phone and scroll on my phone. Then I thought, right, I'm going to go outside, get some fresh air, get the sun on my face, and I'm going to journal. And I found, like, I bought a journal when I first got here, and I've been writing in it pretty much every day, which has been nice. And sometimes, like, I haven't got much to write. And sometimes I feel so overwhelmed with how much I've got to write, I don't know where to start. And I just let myself write whatever. And yesterday I wrote in it twice because I was like, I'm feeling like I want to talk about stuff. I want to put it somewhere. I want to write it down. And that's been therapeutic to me. And even having conversations here where I'm talking to myself on a camera, that's pretty therapeutic because it's a bit like a journal. So something that I do when I've got more time on my hands, which is perfect time for solo traveling, is more mindfulness stuff. So I haven't necessarily been meditating, but I have been going to yoga and stuff like that where we do breathing stuff. And I've got a session tomorrow, which I'm really looking forward to, that is like a mixture of all of those things combined. I've been journaling. I'm always doing what I'm grateful for. So even if I'm having a bad day, everyone has a bad day, and it's all relative to where you're at. And people might look and go, you're on holiday, you shouldn't have a bad day, or you shouldn't be feeling like that, but you can't help how you feel. But one thing that I do every day in my head all the time is I might be on the back of a moped and I'll just be going through things, what I'm grateful for. I'm really grateful that I got to go to yoga. So yesterday I wrote down, I'm really grateful that I got to go to yoga and that I have the use of all of my limbs and I have a healthy, fit body. Like, I'm really, really grateful that I can afford to go to a gym that has all of these things for me to do, where I can relax, where I can go in a plunge pool, where I can go in a sauna, where I can do this, where I can chat to people. I'm really grateful for the sun. I'm really grateful for the Gojek driver who came to pick me up. I'm really grateful that I've got a phone that I can contact friends and family when I need to speak to someone. And all of these things, like, I feel like when you have time by yourself and you're able to do those those things and put out to the world what you're grateful for, I feel like you get that back. And sometimes when you're in a negative headspace, it's really challenging, but I think that journaling and writing down a few things that you're grateful for does make you feel better. And I already feel better by writing in my journal this morning and talking about it. I already feel better, and I'm like, okay, I've got everything off my chest that I was feeling, and now I feel good for it. Something about spending time by yourself, and if you use the time wisely to not always be bettering yourself, but bettering yourself to a certain degree, like lots of the stuff I've just talked about. I have had so many times in the last 2 weeks where I've felt anxious and nervous and overthinking, but I've also had loads of times where I felt really at peace and really grounded and really like just like full, like my heart feels full, and I'm just really happy where I am. But not everyone is happy all of the time, and that's something that social media often portrays as, oh God, you're living the life and like, oh, you're really happy all the time. But that's not always the case. And solo traveling is incredible, and what an amazing opportunity I've got to go to these hotels and be able to work with different people and go and do different things. But it can be challenging and it can be tough, and sometimes you do want company, and that's okay. And in instances where I want company, what I do is I will just go to a cafe, or I will go somewhere where I might be able to chat to someone, but also sometimes going places where no one talks to you and it's really busy can feel really lonely. So you've got to pick and choose what you want. But some tips that I do for when I go out is, because I've had loads of messages like, I can't believe you go out by yourself. Are you not nervous? Like, do you not feel like everyone's looking at you? Blah, blah, blah. And honestly, no. A couple of things that I do to help me feel more confident when I'm out and about is, obviously you've got your phone. Also, I'll just say, right, well, I'm going to sit in here for half an hour. And if after half an hour I don't feel comfortable or it's not sitting well with me, I'm going to leave. But what I also do is I take either my book, I do have a Kindle, but I like to take a book. I take my book, I have my phone, so I have stuff or someone I can talk to. It might be that I set up a call for when I'm in the bar or in the restaurant with a friend, so that it feels like someone's with me. Also, listening to music or a podcast. So something that you're really enjoying listening to, and then you don't feel awkward or like you're on your own. But I think that something that you do notice when you are alone is there is actually lots of other people alone as well, and they're probably feeling a bit and maybe you could just go up to them and say hello. All it takes is a hi. Like, I saw something on a podcast the other day and it was like, what's the worst that can happen? You just go up and say hey, and then that's all, and you never speak to them again. But it's opening it to say, hi, I'm available if you want to come and talk to me, whether that's like a romantic interest, whether that's just a friend. So that's something that I do to make myself feel a little bit more included, but also not feel too awkward when I'm out and about by myself. Normally when I've come to Bali, I've stayed in villas, but something that I've done this time is actually stay in complexes or hotels, because what I wanted to do is be around other people. I feel like if I was in a villa by myself 24/7, I'd probably struggle with that a little bit. So booking a hotel or even a small villa which has 4 or 5 rooms off it is really nice. Something that I look at when I am booking the hotels is location. How far is it away from the centre? How long will it take me to get into the centre? Because if I do want to go and have a wander or go and have a little mission about or go into somewhere where I know, then it's good to be close by. So that's something that I definitely look at. There's so many places that you can find now on Airbnb and booking.com, but I find that booking.com has been the best for me when I've been booking stuff, and it's really good to have a look at all of the TripAdvisor reviews and some of the photos, because I think you get a bit of a better idea when you're looking at the TripAdvisor rather than just what the hotels put online. So yeah, that's been really helpful. Insurance. So as a solo traveller, or as any traveller, you should really have insurance. I do have insurance with my credit card, but I just don't feel like it covers enough. So I think I paid $500, like £250. I just went on one of the for a whole year, worldwide travel. I just went on one of the compare the market ones and just kind of ticked off stuff that I thought that I would need, and then I have that to hand. So I have that in my notes on my phone, and I also have the policy like flagged on my emails, so that if I'm ever stuck, it's on there. Also, I put down emergency contact. So whenever I go anywhere, I'll put an emergency contact down. So sometimes when you sign into a hotel, they like to have an emergency contact or something in case anything happens. Like at the gym, they wanted an emergency contact. And also that thing on your phone, you know, when you like treble click the side and it says like emergency contacts, I have like a list of people on there that if anyone ever needs to speak to anyone, if anything happens to me, they've got that there and then. Another thing that I do is, say I'm going out and I'm a bit wary of where I'm going, or I'm going out with someone new, I'll send my live location to my friends on WhatsApp or my mum or something like that. And then I know that if they don't hear off me or if they don't know where I am, they've got They've got my live location. I really need to sort my Find My Friends out, because Find My Friends is probably the easiest, because you can then see where they are all the time. But I just haven't got around to doing that. And it's so easy on WhatsApp now to put your live location. So I always do that. And I always pretty much have my phone on me. So yeah, I mean, that was meant to be about solo traveling, but it also kind of went into a bit of mindfulness and reflecting and stuff. But I just thought that I would pop on once a week and talk about some different topics that interest you. And I'm going to have like maybe solo travel, lifestyle, midwifery. So yeah, I hope you like that. I feel like I'm in a bit of a rut today, and I don't know why, but I do feel better after I've done this. So if there's any questions that you want to know that I haven't already mentioned about traveling by yourself, or anything that you want me to go over again, then please comment or give me a message, and I can absolutely do that for you. But yeah, bring lots of things to occupy you. Get some good books. Get some good podcasts downloaded. Just take the time to enjoy your own time, because I think in life we're always so busy that often we can't keep up even with ourselves. And having the time where you've got endless hours, even if it's only for a few days or for a week, where you can just do what you want, it's really freeing and liberating. So if you have never been on a solo travel trip, just do it. Even if it's for a weekend in the lakes and you're from England, even if it's for 2 nights away somewhere in Australia and you live in Australia, just going, I am going to give myself something back, because I am number one. Something that I have for the whole of my life, I am a proper empath, and I will always give up my happiness for someone else's. And although yes, I can be quite selfish and set in my ways and stuck with stuff, I do find that I wear my heart on my sleeve and I give everything to someone when they're not willing to do that for me, whether it's friends, whether it's partners, whether it's anything. And sometimes I forget that I need to look after myself. And over the last year or so, when I've really got into my routine and my working out, I've realised that it's really important to pour all of your love into yourself. And if you're not doing that, how are you meant to show up for other people? How are you meant to show up for your children? How are you meant to show up for your partner? How are you meant to show up for yourself, for your job, if you don't look after number one? You are number one, and you need to take time for yourself. And it might just start by going, I'm going out for dinner tonight alone, or I'm going to the cinema by myself, or I'm going to go up to bed an hour earlier by myself to read my book and have a bath. And it can start off with something small, and then eventually you can get to the stage where it might be you save for 6 months. You save a small amount of money for 6 months, then at the end of the 6 months you go, do you know what? I've saved this money and I deserve to go away and to spend some time alone and to reflect and to look after myself and treat myself. And you should do it. Why not? You're never ever going to regret looking after yourself. When do you ever go to the gym and go, oh, I wish I hadn't done that, it was really awful? You've got to get yourself out there and you've got to do things for you. And it starts off small. Remember, little steps. Always little steps. So whether that's starting a savings account, whether that's booking something in the diary for yourself for going out for a coffee, whether that's going for a walk by yourself with your headphones in, it all starts with little steps to build your confidence so that you know that you can go away and you will be fine. And if you won't be fine, you'll get through it, just like I am, because I have on and off days all of the time. But yes, I hope that helps. Bye.